Okay, so we got started in the Nordics with a project in Copenhagen back in 2016. And this project was a landmark project where we actually partnered with a couple of partners with a vehicle and a charging station and began to conduct vehicle-to-grid operations there. The reason why we were able to do this at that point in time is because the Nordics were very, very advanced in integrating renewables into their grid, which is good, but that also comes with the fact that when you integrate renewables, such as wind and solar, you introduce a lot of intermittency and imbalance into the grid because the wind doesn't always blow and the sun doesn't always shine. And so in that regard, what you need is a way to stabilize the grid because they were getting a lot of frequency imbalances. And their idea was, why not use all the vehicles that have batteries as a resource to help stabilize the grid? And that's where Nuvve came in because our technology was built for that. And so we started there and have customers there to this day conducting vehicle-to-grid operations with that frequency regulation service and earning a good revenue stream to lower the total cost of ownership of those vehicles. We then continued to branch out in Europe. We have a great partnership with EDF. They're a big utility based out of France, and we formed a JV called Drive and have begun our scaling efforts there in Europe with our own technology as well as in partnership with Drive. In Japan, the picture's a bit different, where we're working with our partner Toyota Tsusho, which is the trading company for the Toyota Motors Group, and we've integrated with stationary batteries as well as vehicles, and we're scaling our stationary battery applications with the third biggest utility based in Japan called Chubu. And they have distributed stationary batteries. We're actually managing them, and very exciting. Japan is starting to roll out all these grid services for distributed resources such as stationary batteries, and we're scaling our technology with Chubu. And the idea is to continue to scale with the other utilities once we've demonstrated that our platform is working with Chubu. Here in the United States, the picture's different. We made a decision to actually focus on the school bus segment because school buses, when they're electrified, are probably the best use case for our vehicle-to-grid technology, which allows us to aggregate the vehicles into a virtual power plant and provide services to the grid bidirectionally. And so we started to conduct projects as far back as 2017, landmark project at UCSD here in San Diego to demonstrate our technology and roll it out. And then we started to focus in on school bus fleets. And at this point, we have over 500 buses connected to our platform. And it's a different application, a different set of efforts, uniquely in each different region. Here in the United States, we take a more of a fiduciary approach, where we're doing a lot of the project management to help our clients electrify their fleets and fulfill their desires to have electrified transportation for the school buses. And so we have a project management effort. It's more like blocking and tackling, where we actually get the project, manage it, and operate the project on the behalf of the customer. And we are using our platform with the fleets to participate in the markets in ways such as programs, tariffs, and in the market itself. And just to show you what it looks like in California, this is an example where in 2022, we had a huge heat wave, which really stressed the grid. And California came up with this emergency load reduction program. And we actually participated with our customer, Cajon Valley Union School District, which is about 15 miles to the east of where I'm standing right now. And we set up this deployment. And the exciting thing about this deployment is that these are commercially available charging stations, commercially available buses, and a commercially available platform in Nuvve to manage and scale it all. In this case, we actually discharged the snapshot of 10 events during 2022. We were the only company that at that point in time, and I believe the same is true today, to have aggregated electric vehicles into a virtual power plant and providing services into the ELRP with these resources. And in this case, in 2022, we discharged just shy of a megawatt hour with a measurable greenhouse gas reduction and equivalent houses served metrics. And then we got a call from Governor Newsom's office, and he talked a little bit about vehicle to grid. And I'll play this for you.
Vehicle to grid capacity, that is a game changer. You'll be writing a lot more and talking a lot more about this. The opportunity for vehicles to be battery storage and then export their off-peak charge back onto the grid during the peak to absorb more load. This is the future. 3 full days they couldn't keep their lights on last year. All that coal and gas. 200 to 700 people, a high-end estimate, died as a consequence. $130+ billion in economic damage, full 3 days. And the Wall Street Journal's writing editorials about our challenges, where we didn't have any blackouts, where we actually mitigated an unprecedented 10-day streak that blew away over 1,000 heat records. And yet we were able to advance not just our ideals, but this cause during the most extreme test that this state has ever faced. And we're proud of that.
So we are the first mover in the vehicle to grid space. We have a very comprehensive portfolio of intellectual property that we purchased from the University of Delaware when we did our Series A back in 2017. This IP is very broad. It's from all the different perspectives, from the charging station side, from the vehicle side, from the platform side, and from the grid side, to protect our technology. As well, we're the only company that I know of in the world that has been qualified by multiple system operators, so TSOs and DSOs, to aggregate vehicles into a virtual power plant and provide services to the grid bidirectionally and get paid for them. We also have over a decade of experience in doing this and a track record of success. And we have a tremendous amount of data and an AI effort to go along with that data so that we can learn from it and improve on our services.